evening, coming to you live from Kenny's basement apartment where we survived his youngest's 5th birthday. It's Sports Allegedly!
Welcome, everybody. Thanks for joining us for this episode of Sports Allegedly on this 6th day of your Lord, 2024. Sean to my right. Guest today, former guest. No? Zach, thanks for joining us for this rendition of that. We're going to talk a little baseball. We're going to talk a lot of NFL football. Probably not much of women's NBA playoffs, but we are
Not talking any of that.
We're going to talk about. Let's start with college
None
football.
of that.
College football yesterday, Saturday is one of the greatest days to watch football. If you like upsets.
Oh my God, it was amazing.
So, number 1, number 4, number 9, number 10, number 11 go down. At Bama loses to Vanderbilt. Tennessee loses to Arkansas. Missouri loses to.
Yeah, Mississippi lost. Missouri,
that was
lost
last
the
week.
before.
Missouri loses. Michigan loses to. Who did Michigan lose to? I didn't even pay.
Oh, Michigan lost to Washington.
Washington, that's right. Unranked Washington. And then the Golden Gophers of Minnesota beat our former head coach, Lincoln Riley, and everyone.
Oh, did they really?
Everyone in Oklahoma went, yay.
Wait, did
yay.
Minnesota really beat USC?
Oh, yeah. USC's 0-2 on the road in the Big Ten.
I didn't even see that one.
0-2 on the road on the Big Ten.
I did not even see that. I know that they lost the Michigan game.
Dude makes $10 million. You get on Twitter, you look at all the comparisons between him and Clay Helton.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Clay made like $2.3 million. He makes 10. Clay's done way more in his time there, and it is.
We forget to turn the arrow.
It is what it is. Yeah, we'll be fine. Nobody hears that. So, all right, let's talk a little bit about OSU.
Yeah, I do believe that Oklahoma State is now the team that we thought they were last season. I think we were very surprised by who they became last season. And there's a lot not going on. Ollie Gordon's not the Heisman rushing candidate he was supposed to be.
13 carries, 50 yards. They're going to blame the offensive line. Why don't we just blame the offense? Total. I mean, let's just...
rode that boat right up Lincoln's backside.
So, Alan Bowman, I mean, let's just be honest. Alan Bowman was a stopgap last year. We've talked about this. He should not be playing at all this year. And if the quarterback room is that bad, there's problems. Gundy's gotten a bit lazy. We've all talked about that. Doesn't get big in the portal. Reminds me of Dabo. But Alan Bowman, 10-19, 116 yards against at that time, 2-2 West Virginia team, 38-14. And then Ollie Gordon, 13 carries, 50 yards. Now.
That's it?
That's it. That is it. But I think the more telling one, when I was looking at theirs, is obviously Bowman threw 2 picks. And
it's against Neal. Coach Neal's, been playing for his job
for
2 seasons.
We talked about,
and he's improved.
We talked about OU's third down inefficiency, OSU's third down inefficiency, 3 of 10 on third down. West Virginia ran 81 plays compared to their 45. And the defense give up 558 yards compared to OSU's 227. It almost mimics the Arkansas game, and Arkansas just handed that game to them.
Yeah.
So in reality, OSU should be setting at 2-4.
Apparently, Alan Bowman lost his AARP card, so that's why he's
in a year that Oklahoma and Texas are out of the Big 12. And I don't, OSU fans are going to say, oh well, last 2 out of 3, OSU's beat Oklahoma. They've owned Texas over the past 10 years. Guys, these teams that OU and Texas are building right now is night and day.
It's all night and day.
So it's bad.
I don't even know what to say about that team because you had high hopes. You started 3-0, and you beat a really good Arkansas. You beat a really good Arkansas team, but then Utah comes to town and beats them, and then they go to Kansas State. And they get blown out there. And now this week, you're blown out again. You get blown out twice.
Correct.
What's the correction that needs to be made? What does OSU need to correct here? It seems like they're not fixing anything week to week. Did they lose guys? I don't think they have. You don't have Ollie Gordon running for 300 yards like he used to. Do you need to switch back to the 2-quarterback system?
No, you just need to get a quarterback in the system. Play your freshman, your true freshman from Nebraska, Flores, and just let him go. Or he's not true, he's a redshirt now. Just let him play. Look at all these other schools going to freshman quarterbacks. You're paying these players now. Just let them do it. Take the pains.
You really have to.
You know.
And that's one of the things about Oklahoma is they've had to go young just to keep up with all the losses that they've had.
While paying someone, which is impressive.
Yeah, I mean, they're still paying Jackson Arnold. Yeah, Iowa State is still a weird team. So, I don't know what I don't know what Oklahoma State has to do to fix. I honestly I don't, because like I said, this is a team that we thought they were going to be last year.
You got to, as an athletic director, you've got to sit down and you're going to have to say, hey, listen, Gundy, you're going to have to change some things. Yeah, we know you lucked in, and it's luck. There was a lot of luck that played a factor in the last year of getting into that Big 12 championship. And even you made it, and that's great. But Texas annihilated you, and I know they were a playoff team last year, but that game was not a game.
No.
You know, you take the top 2 teams in a conference, they should at least be having a game amongst themselves.
Oklahoma should have been in that game because I think there was a game that Oklahoma State should have lost, and they won barely right at the end.
When Oklahoma lost to Oklahoma State.
I know that's
their own, and they
I'm
lost
well
to Kansas.
I'm well aware, but there was still a game that Oklahoma State was that they barely won right at the end, and Oklahoma State shouldn't have been in that Big 12 playoff, in the Big 12 championship.
We should have beat Kansas and Oklahoma State straight up.
We should have.
It would have been a very different.
We should have, but Oklahoma shot the bed in,
as we generally do,
in 2 games.
Rain delay and pass interference calls.
Yeah. So, well, I mean, what's your opinion? I mean, there's this whole bring Zach back. Okay, so let's stop that. I don't know if this is. I mean, this is becoming a kind of a thing with OSU fans on Twitter. Is Zach Robinson's not coming back to OSU?
Where's he at now?
He's the offensive coordinator at the Falcons.
Oh yeah.
He's not coming back.
Yeah, that's too much money. You don't have the money to.
He's
pay.
not even going to take a head coaching job at OSU. This guy's going to be lined up to take a head NFL job, which is much easier. Nobody in the NFL is going, man, I'd sure like to get back in college. Bill O'Brien seems to be the only one that wants to do that, and that's because he couldn't get a job somewhere else. And the Rutgers coach did have an NFL job for a minute. It's the ones that are successful. They're not leaving. They're not leaving, going back to college to become successful, and then go back to NFL.
Spurrier went to the NFL, had to come back. Even Nick Saban went to the NFL and had to come back. Nick Saban went to Miami Dolphins and had to come back to college.
But that's because he wasn't successful.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm agreeing with.
But I'm saying there's nobody that's real successful in college that is going to go say, or I'm sorry, there's nobody successful in the NFL that's going to go back and say, yeah, I'll go back to college and deal with this bullshit. Well, they had fired him. Guy's kind of a weirdo.
He was going to fight in 11.
There's a reason. There's a lot of NFL teams didn't hire him when he got fired from San Francisco. Think about that. He took him to the Super Bowl. Yeah. Played his brother in the Super Bowl and lost. Oh. Yeah, that was the Harbaugh Bowl. Yeah, took him there with a very average quarterback, and that tried to.
What are you doing? Just walk around.
I'm good right now. Thank you.
No, just walk around.
But no, took.
Sorry, we had a peeper.
Took a very average quarterback and got him to the Super Bowl, and they lost, and it was a competitive game. I think Harbaugh was more about personality.
Was that Joe Flacco's first win?
No, it was
only win, but yeah.
Oh, that was his only win. Yeah. Then he signed a big contract right after that.
Yeah.
But no, it was. I mean, there was more about personality, how he wanted to run the show.
Well, I'm saying if he's not successful at the Chargers,
well, that's what he's doing
at
the Chargers.
Go back to college?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, he's just done coaching.
No, huh?
He'd just be done coaching.
If he's not successful with the Chargers?
Yeah.
If there was no sign stealing scandal, would he have still went to the NFL?
Kenny doesn't respect what you bring to the table. I'm sorry.
I don't think. Do you think he would have left? Yeah, he was already leaving anyway.
You think so?
Yes.
Oh, he was on his way out.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he knew.
He just got lucky.
Yeah, you say that, but he knew about what they were doing before we did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, he did have. Well, now allegedly he had
He
had no knowledge of any of
we
that.
know Harbaugh.
Yeah, we had no.
Harbaugh
knowledge
knew
of
what
that.
was happening.
We had no knowledge of that. Well, let's lead into so OSU's toast.
They got a bye week this week.
So Oklahoma obviously had the off week. We could talk a little bit about
Oklahoma and Texas both had off
Yes.
weeks right before.
Not really going to talk much about Tulsa. Good for Army being 5-0. I think Navy and Army are both 5-0.
They
right
are
now.
first time that they're both meeting. I think 5-0. I saw the stat.
Do they play this week?
I believe they do.
That's cool. That's a fun game.
Really?
Yeah, let me go look here.
Well, no. Look at OSU and see who they've got upcoming. Look at their schedule.
Well, I was just jumping into Navy because it was right there.
They should be ranked.
Oh no, Navy's jumping into Charlotte.
Yeah, big. Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think they're playing yet.
They play end of the year. They're
Good call, Sean.
Next week, it's going to be a big one.
Well, this week is.
Well, I didn't know
huge.
if they moved the end of the. I didn't know if they moved that game from the end of the year like they had been playing.
Well, let's talk a little bit about other losses that we witnessed. Obviously, we talked about Bama going down.
Well, and I had to tell you because you were dealing with the Suns festivities, and I come walking in and I'm like, dude, you know that Vandy's beating Alabama, and you're like, what?
And they had led. I mean, most of the game.
They led the whole game.
Halftime was 23-14. Then it became 30-28. So it got close there. That was after the third. So that was the score after the third. But here's the deal. We did watch the end of that game. Nothing. I mean, it was on the SEC Network, and it was one of the most riveting games. So good for you, SEC Network, to put a game that you thought was an ass kicking.
They didn't think.
No, you thought that was an ass kicking.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. They thought that it was just going to be a slaughter, so they didn't even put it on.
Speaking of ass kicking, last night Miami and Cal.
We'll talk about that in a minute.
God.
Yeah, you got to finish the end. I fell asleep because I thought Cal had
I just
it made.
couldn't believe it. They just kept. I was like, wow, they really are going to give this away.
Vanderbilt 40, Alabama 35, upsets them. The team stat was the key thing to watch that I thought was a total yards, that Vanderbilt outgained Alabama.
So it's crazy that Alabama loses to Vandy and they don't drop that far in the poll.
What are they going to drop to? 3 or 4?
Oh, they should have dropped below.
Where's Georgia?
They should drop below Tennessee. They should drop below Georgia. Oh.
Well, they lost to Georgia.
Oh, we're not doing
But now
this.
Georgia only went to what place? You know, Georgia
dropped to 4.
4 or 5.
4 or 5.
Yeah. So does Georgia start to move down now?
Well, it's going to be a weird week because everyone's dropping. A lot of people are dropping.
Yeah, but you can't drop Alabama below Georgia.
Well, it's going to be weird to see.
But could you?
But
yes,
no,
you can.
You can
because the loss is worse.
Yes.
But they beat them, though. How's that make sense?
Coke versus woke was
great.
You
how does that make sense to them?
Well, there was a lot that went on. I mean, you had Tennessee losing to an unranked Arkansas. Oh, but we can't drop them very far. Let me pull up the rankings real quick here.
Well, I mean, I don't know.
So Alabama dropped 6 spots.
Don't do the coaches poll. I don't believe in any of that because it's trash.
It's not coaches. I'm doing AP.
Yeah, okay.
Penn State ranked 5 in the coaches poll.
I'm going to talk about them here in a minute because Penn State's got some interesting things to talk about too.
So Miami jumps up 2. The polls will never allow Georgia to drop. Yeah.
So they're 5.
Yeah. So Georgia's 5. They drop Alabama 6 spots to number 7.
This one right here.
Yes, that's the AP.
This isn't.
And
the
they
AP.
only it is.
AP.
Penn State's 4.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they only dropped. They moved them up 3, and they only dropped Tennessee 4 spots.
Did this happen today?
Losing to Arkansas.
Sunday.
Oh, got you.
Yeah,
okay.
Sunday, yeah.
Oh, wow.
I didn't
Losing to
review
Arkansas,
it. I haven't
State
reviewed
is
it.
4. Wow.
I haven't reviewed it.
No, I haven't seen this
Oklahoma only moves up 1.
Well, it was a bye week, so we'll take it.
either. Yeah, we beat the bye week.
Okay, now Missouri did drop 12, which is very surprising.
They suck. We've talked about this. They're a
I
fraud.
know, but still.
Okay, Sean, we go. To
They
the
had
top
the
5.
biggest
I just
drop.
didn't see it. I want to see it real quick.
Why did Alabama only go 6 and Tennessee go 4 for their losses when we dropped 8, I believe, is what it was.
I fucking didn't even look. I don't care about
6
that.
or 8.
But when we beat
And,
number
but
1,
then,
we'll
then
see
they
what
dropped
happens.
Missouri 12. So, how come these two are getting special treatment?
Well, I think for one that Miami's undefeated, Penn State's undefeated, Oregon's undefeated, Ohio State. So, and Texas, obviously. So you've got to move them up. Georgia has the best loss of any team on that list right now.
I would switch.
It's pretty easy.
I would switch Miami and Alabama for sure. in my opinion.
Oh, you'd have Alabama above Miami?
Yes.
I would too.
Yeah.
They should have lost that game against Cal.
Well, no, I know that.
I mean, if you're watching football, now they can't do it because look at all the ones below it, though, Zach. That's why they didn't move them up.
And Notre Dame still.
I'm sorry.
Notre Dame tied at 11.
No, but I'm saying they didn't move them down further than that because look at all the ones below it.
So Notre Dame tied at 11. Should they still be there?
Well, no one's talking about Iowa State.
Well, nobody's talking about BYU either, except for us.
No, that's going to be one of those things that Iowa State hasn't been ranked this high since Oklahoma beat them when. What was the quarterback that played for the Seattle Seahawks? He was a quarterback. Seneca Wallace, yes. And they were hyped. They were hyped. And
Texas A&M moves up 10 spots.
Yeah, that'd be a different team if they didn't lose to Notre Dame. I mean, they'd be somewhere else right now.
And close.
I know.
Real close loss to Notre Dame.
Yeah, the polls right now.
It was the first game. Still ironing out some stuff.
Oh, yeah. Wilson Gray just said I mentioned Iowa State, Kenny, and he did.
I don't get to read.
I know you. So. Yeah, Kenny can't really read this. I have to read it to him.
So
let me in.
Yes.
Welcome to the house.
So no, I mean that's Missouri falling, and as they should because I think they're a fraud. The one team that should not be ranked right now is Michigan. I don't even at 2 losses, Michigan should not even be. But look at the drop.
They
off.
dropped all the way.
No, 14. Look at the drop off between Missouri total points in the AP poll, 352 total points, and then the next drop off is Pitt, who's 5-0, hasn't beat anybody great, but.
Well, they've been
the drop off
is
great.
But they've been winning.
They've
been winning very well.
It's huge, right between
Pitt's
there.
Pitt's undefeated, and
Pitt's winning 5 games.
Pitt?
No. Who? Pitt?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. No,
like 3 games.
That's your ACC Coach of the Year right now.
DiNardo.
I think he's ACC. I get mixed up.
He is ACC.
Yeah, it's Pat Narduzzi.
Narduzzi, our favorite.
Yeah.
Biff Pogge's still our AAC.
Arkansas got votes, and they shouldn't just because they had a good win. And then
they should have. Arkansas should have gotten votes.
People
was Arkansas not ranked?
Yeah, they're right there. They're right there receiving votes.
Hey, Sean, look at that though. I mean, what's 11 to 26?
What for?
That's 15 spots. USC's out.
Yeah.
But no, you were talking about how big of a drop. USC's got to have the biggest drop off.
Oh, absolutely.
They were ranked 11th.
Yeah.
And they went from 11th to 26th.
Oh, well, they lost to Minnesota, but I'm talking about in the SEC. Those teams should have dropped.
No, we were talking about Lincoln Riley. He's lost last 7 of 12. Thank you, USC, for taking him off our hands. We were disappointed for about 3 months and then got over it.
We don't even care anymore.
Then, we do, because now everyone's like, why is OU got a problem with him still? Are they that bitter? And it's like, no.
Like Kevin Durant.
No, it's like you're not bitter. It's like you left a top 10 program all time of football.
Yeah, you left.
And you went to another program that's top 10 as well.
Yeah, I was going to say USC.
It used to be top 10.
No, it still is. I mean, talking history.
Yeah.
And you ran to that because you wanted the beach life. Yeah, they paid you the money. They promised you everything.
You know what's funny about that beach life?
And then all of a sudden, hold on. Then
part of where he lives is falling off in the ocean.
And then 2 years later, you're in the Big Ten that you didn't expect to be in the Big Ten.
No.
And I think that...
I mean, he also didn't even stay for the bowl game, which I thought was... I mean, that's why I don't like him.
Oh, no. I mean, I wouldn't stay either. I mean, he didn't even tell his players. He gave him a minute, and DeMarco Murray said, "This is bullshit. You need to get out of here," and that's why he'll always want to be my favorite coaches of all time.
Who, DeMarco?
Yes. October 12th this week, Penn State goes to USC. How do you think that's going to turn out?
Penn State.
Yeah, exactly. And then Maryland they might beat, but Rutgers currently undefeated, or just had their first loss, but could beat them.
We're talking about USC.
Yeah, Washington, Nebraska goes to USC.
Actually, you know who's missing in the top 25?
Notre Dame.
Rutgers.
Yeah, well, they have.
But they should have been. They should have been in before that.
Check in the coaches' poll, see if they voted anything.
No.
Arizona State got a vote. Holy moly!
Yeah. Yeah, they don't have. Rutgers has not been mentioned in either poll. So, why is Rutgers not?
They got votes in the coach poll.
There it is.
There it is. Let's talk about some of the other upset losses. Obviously, we talked a little bit about Tennessee. Probably, is it probably what's his name? Why can't I think of him? The coach of Arkansas. I'm drawing a blank. Pittman. I was going to say Chapman. It ain't Chapman. It's Pittman. You think that's his biggest coaching win of his career?
Yes.
I would think so too. It's a huge win against a top 10 ranked, top 5 maybe. I don't remember what they were ranked before. Tennessee. You know, Nick Saban comes on game day or does an interview and says. Does an interview and says
it says Rutgers has Ray Rice elevator energy this year.
They do. Now they did lose to Nebraska, but you know
what he means.
Oh, I know. I know Ray Rice. I know the elevator.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. He went to school there. Yeah, I run a sports podcast here. I know what Ray Rice and elevator means. Yeah, got that.
I just want to make
He was a running back for Rutgers back in the day when Shiano was there and good, and then left and took the Tampa job.
And became
real quick. What were you getting to though? What'd you say?
Which part?
Before you went on the elevator.
Oh yeah, well, Sean interrupted me.
Yeah.
Which Tennessee?
No, it's Saban.
Oh yeah. Saban said that Tennessee's got he thinks one of the best, if not the best, defense in the SEC.
Oh, everybody said that.
Well, did you hear what he said about Vanderbilt too?
Yeah, and it's the one place you don't go that doesn't really.
It's not hard to play there.
It's not hard to play there.
Yeah.
And they kept playing it on repeat as they're ripping the goalpost down.
Did they?
Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Vandy was always a whipping boy. Vandy has been an SEC win. That's why Franklin was there. Now Franklin's at Penn State. You know,
because he won there.
I know, but that's what I'm saying.
He won there. That was the whole deal.
For those good years that Vandy had, what, 2 was it? I think that he was there, 2 or 3. And then he took the Penn State job.
So they lost to Georgia State by 4, and Missouri beat them by 3, and Missouri had moved clear up to number 9 or 8.
That was in overtime.
And
that was in overtime.
Oh yeah, it was in overtime, and then they beat Alabama. So they've got Kentucky, Ball State, Auburn, Texas, South Carolina, LSU, and Tennessee. Which
God, if they take that Texas game.
Well, Texas, we'll talk a little bit about OU Texas after.
We will.
Or preview this.
We will.
We're previewing last week's, but also another game that besides A&M killing Missouri, we've all thought Missouri's a fraud.
Yeah, I knew they were going.
Penn State, as of last week, Penn State had the 8th ranked offense in the nation, and they had the 4th ranked defense. 2 new coordinators. Tom Allen got fired from Indiana last year and was known for his defense. He comes into Penn State.
Can you pull up their schedule real quick?
And Penn State?
Yeah, who they played and who they played.
I'll talk to you about that in just a second.
I'm looking for Penn State.
And then Andy, I don't remember Andy's last name, Piatkowski, whatever. He was Kansas offensive coordinator last few years.
Yeah.
And look what Kansas has done since he's left. They look like hammered shit. And that was a big hire. James Franklin got rid of some coordinators and brought in an Alar, is that his name? Was a freshman quarterback last year. He looks so much better this year. Now, schedule, is it indicative of how good they are? I don't know. They beat West Virginia, who killed OSU, so that's a start. Beat them 34-12. It's a rivalry game. They beat Bowling Green 34-27. Beat Kent State, as you should. And they beat, at the time, 23-ranked Illinois. UCLA sucks. They're not any good.
But they gave 11 points.
They did, but that's only 11. They didn't score, but those games happen. This was upset week, like we talked about, and those you're going to have every team that goes through that, and they're going to look like
November 2nd will
average
know
shit.
everything we need to know about Penn State.
What's that?
I said November 2nd we'll know everything we need to know about Penn State.
Yeah, they can't ever get him.
Could you read that? Kotelnicki.
Yes. That's Andy. That's Andy's last name. Yes. And so you know they play USC. They should beat them this week. They got Wisconsin. Zach's right. November 22nd they play Ohio State. Then they play Washington, who's down. Purdue, who's really down. Minnesota did beat USC, but I don't think they're very good in Maryland.
Kenny is very well.
I think that if they go one loss to OSU, and I think that's it, they'll be in the playoff, hands down.
Yeah, they're not going to move that far, losing to Ohio State. But if they do lose to Washington, or they lose to USC, or they lose to the Wisconsin
they
team,
potentially could be out.
Then they would be out.
Yes, but I mean the Big Ten's. But the Big Ten's going to get a lot of favor. And what other team in the Big Ten is good besides OSU and Penn State?
Oh, where'd Iowa go?
And Oregon's the third, but they're going to get beat this week. My early prediction as we get into the preview of college football this week: Ohio State.
Indiana's leading right now.
They are, but they're undefeated, and they got the coach, Cignetti, Kirk Cignetti, and I can't remember where he came from, but stat guy, let's get that going on. But anyway,
what are you looking for?
Washington, good win against Missouri. We're talking about the Big Ten right now. This last week, Washington was a good win. Nebraska's 5-1, best record they've had since got to be No,
Bo Callahan.
Late 2000s.
Wasn't that Bo Callahan?
Probably when they went to the Big 12 championship.
Yeah, played OU.
Michigan ain't any good. Illinois and Rutgers plays the exact same ball almost.
Oh, it's horrible.
And then everything below that is trash, in my opinion.
Well, except for this weird Minnesota team that
They're not any good.
They're not, but they are.
Look at USC. They're not any good.
They're a weird random team.
Michigan State got killed by Oregon, 31-10. Dylan Gabriel had one of his worst game. Had the worst game of his year. One of the worst games of his career. 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Percentage wasn't really good. I was looking at the stats on that. I didn't pull them up. but
Wilster Gray says if they allow Notre Dame in this playoff with a quarterback that can't throw 50 yards a game, I'll drive to South Bend and tear down touchdown Jesus.
Best they can do is 5th, and if they win out, which I don't think they will. I don't think Notre Dame's going to win out.
Oh no. I don't even know what they're.
So we talked a little bit about Missouri and their loss. A&M killed them. A&M hired a good coach. You could tell they're different than what they were. They're more disciplined. They play good defense. Missouri's a fraud. We've all talked about that. Love the Twitter people. Visit us at @SportsAllegedly if you think Missouri's still good. You can shit on OU all you want.
Yeah,
We've seen it enough, and you guys just got tails. You got your ass slapped.
We played Missouri. I don't know how many times throughout the years.
Owned them. Well, they got our guard, Caden Green, and then every video of him getting his ass beat by
the biggest Theo Weiss.
Yeah, and Weiss. But Green was the big one. He left for money. But every video that we saw on Twitter was Caden Green getting his ass whipped by a lot of people. And I'm not saying we have a great offensive line because we don't.
Now, this Ole Miss South Carolina game, did you expect that to be closer as how South Carolina's been playing?
South Carolina, which is
weird.
Road, but yeah, it wasn't even.
Well, I know, but South Carolina's been playing tough, and then all of a sudden they just.
2 losses, Alabama, and that one.
How do I open up my tabs back? Surely I didn't erase them all, did I?
What did you do?
Or was it Tennessee?
Help me. What were you talking about? As he looks at my computer and tries
what's South Carolina's other loss?
Yeah, you closed all your tabs.
Tennessee. How do you do that? Just you hit the X and they all disappear?
No, you closed everything before that.
That's almost impossible because I thought I'd have to do each one of them. Sorry, we're talking computer talk, and I'm illiterate at this. I just talk sports, baby.
Yeah, you screwed something. Because it would show.
So what game was you talking about as he's looking?
I don't know the other game.
Who they lost?
Yeah.
It was Clemson.
Tennessee or Alabama? It wasn't.
They haven't played already. They play at the end of the game. Don't worry about it. I'll just pull everything up.
Yeah, Clemson and
South Carolina.
And South Carolina is like a rivalry in game, in season type shit.
Yeah.
Oh, LSU.
Oh fuck, it was LSU.
Close one though too.
Yeah. So you figured that Ole Miss game would be a hell of a lot closer than 27.
But that's not going to be an easy game.
Well, I didn't say it was going to be easy.
Alabama's next.
No, I'm aware of that.
And we played them too. Wow.
Yeah, our schedule almost a little bit mimics it. You know, they take because there's the Missouri and
South Kakalaki's coming to Oklahoma. Alabama's coming to Oklahoma.
But you look at the SEC right now. The only people still left in the SEC that's undefeated is Texas A&M, Wofford. Texas A. It's a main school like everyone plays those crap schools. Sean, what's the top? It's A&M and LSU. Is that the only undefeated teams in the SEC? Texas, obviously. Texas, obviously.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Their first loss this week.
The scar quarterback with South Kakalaki.
You want to talk about
with Rex Specs can't play.
All right. You want to talk about upcoming games? What did we figure out on OSU? Are they off or not? You didn't even look, did you?
Was I supposed to?
Yes.
Oh, that's why I went to them and you said go to this.
Yes, they are off this week.
Yeah,
BYU is the 18th. Loss.
Not
necessarily. I'm just saying. You know,
I don't know, but it's BYU.
It's Iowa State and BYU in the Big 12 championship, and one of those teams are going to get in the playoff automatically.
Currently,
that's what's great. Is it great? I don't know. Is it that great? I don't know.
It is for BYU because that guy, that coach, has been there forever. And sorry, I popped that right in the mic.
Yeah, you go right ahead. What was that?
The coaches has had rebuilt that program. Remember last year they were just terrible.
First talking about Campbell. Well, everyone's like Matt Campbell needs to go.
No, not Campbell. I'm talking about BYU's coach.
Yes.
You know, first year in the Big 12, they won like 2 or 3 games.
It was bad.
Overall, yeah. And then for this season, we had picked them.
It's Kalani Sitake. I wanted to pronounce his name right. And he's been there since 2015.
Yeah, that's to say, he's been there
but
for a
they've
while.
had some bad years, and they're coming out of nowhere.
But we had picked him to finish, I think, where's BYU? There's Baylor. Zona. BYU's not on that. I don't know why. But anyways, I think BYU had a four game over-under. And we picked them about that. 4 to 5 games to win.
Yeah, we talked about BYU.
And they're already 5-0.
Yeah. Yeah, they're definitely going to hit their over in Vegas. For sure.
And is anybody going to bring up that Pittsburgh 8-9?
God, please no. We'll get to NFL and talk about that in a minute. Has that game started, by the way? Update on Dallas-Pittsburgh. Is that coming up yet?
No, it's heavy rain.
Lots of lightning is actually what they're going to do.
It's a hurricane.
Per se.
Little hurricane coming through.
Yeah, they postponed the game. My fantasy team is toast.
I don't think they're going to.
Well, they're not going to cancel the game. It's just going to be late.
They'll move it to Monday if they have to.
Yeah. It's still not started.
Okay.
They're saying 8:45.
8:45. Perfect. So we'll be about done with that.
We are ahead.
Good deal.
So, anyways, college football. I don't know what happened. This is a great weekend of upsets, and unfortunately, it was all SEC upset.
Miami
and
Cal got robbed.
And their weird luck. Their weird
luck.
Coach luck.
Referee
luck.
Wink, wink. ACC needs those teams to be up because ACC has nobody. They know if Miami's not any good. I can't, and they're actually
decent. They're actually decent. I wouldn't say they're not any good. They're decent.
Okay, Sean, GM of the year, draft Cam Ward first round.
I just said they're
second
decent.
Round,
third round.
I'm going. He goes top 10. Some dumb GM.
Oh, he's going to end up going top 10 because
I wouldn't take him.
He's being compared to Cam Newton.
I mean, they're built the same.
Right, but he's being compared to Cam Newton, and we all know Scam Newton and what he did.
Newton.
Oh, trust me, in Alabama, it's Scam Newton.
Cam Newton still did what a lot of people.
Yeah, Wilson Grace has to settle down. All I said was they were decent. I didn't say they were amazing.
Virginia Tech had that catch.
Cal?
Called it as a catch. Done.
Oh, the Virginia
Cal,
Tech game.
They come back from like 60 down,
and the refs
go
15 to 38.
Let me see that. I'm not going to call that pass interference. I'm not going to call the lineman in the end zone almost on that pass. He's way down the field.
Downfield?
Yes.
Yeah. No, but we talked about that. We watched that.
And honestly, refs miss calls. I'm not blaming the refs on everything. I mean, we can talk and bitch about the refs.
The ACC refs
but
are bad.
this is bad. This is becoming something you got to study.
There were other ACC games that the refs had screwed up in, like beginning of the season.
Not for Miami. So what?
Not for Miami.
So what Miami's got
general.
left is Louisville, Florida State, Duke, Wake Forest, Georgia Tech, Syracuse.
They need to lose. They need to lose.
Syracuse, maybe. I love the way McCord's playing. What did Syracuse do this week, Sean? I love the way Kyle McCord's playing.
Syracuse beat UNLV.
Yes, that was a huge upset on a Friday night.
They had to come back.
But that's all right. I mean, UNLV was undefeated and ranked.
Correct, and that was the bottom five's.
But they're 4-1. Like I said, McCord got a new coach. I mean, they're playing better. It's the best Syracuse has played in many, many years. The fans are selling out the dome, and they're loving it.
Well,
and Georgia Tech. Okay, did they win or lose this week? Who Georgia Tech played?
I think they won, didn't they?
Because we had them in our picks actually, and it was a close game. I thought. No, Louisville beat them. No. I'm sorry.
Louisville played SMU.
Sorry. They beat Duke, so I called that.
Yeah.
Right,
but
yes.
I
so Duke's first loss too. So you're sitting there going, it's
the refs need to be overall not the refs do not need to be. And I said this I think last week. The refs don't need to be per school or per what is that ACC. We just need refs that are in an area.
Yeah. Why do we have conference refs?
I don't know.
That.
We don't need conference refs.
Yeah, I don't either.
Because we saw that when OU played Texas Tech.
Does the Big 12 pay more than like the Big 10, or is it the vice versa? Is that why they switched?
But you remember the referee.
I mean, the NFL they don't have the AFC East.
You remember the referee that screwed OU at the Texas Tech game, and he goes, "Yeah, I screwed him," and he goes, "What's going to happen to me? I'm suspended for a game." And that's what happened. He got suspended for a game for a bad call that he knew that it was a bad call. So yeah, we don't need conference. referees. We need
and maybe
overall referees that are just in areas.
Maybe someone could enlighten us on why they have that. Maybe there's something we're missing that's big time.
I think that everybody had certain different rules.
I mean, the NCAA, and that's possible. Like they did different things. Maybe they don't call touchdowns.
But I think everybody's got the same rules now.
Of course, the NCAA's trash too, so they can't do anything about it. So that's why the conferences run college football, not the NCAA. They have no,
right.
So you keep them.
You need to have just one big thing of referees and say, okay, you live in this area, you're gonna be reffing these games, you're gonna be
anything
in this area.
Else on the scoreboard that really drew your attention? Where are we looking at time? 35 minutes.
35-19.
Navy beat Air Force, so we talked about earlier. Navy and Army both undefeated.
Both undefeated. I think
play
Navy.
They'll play at the last game. Other than that, UAB Trent Dilfer needs to be done. He's
his second year, isn't
it? He's trash, dude. He's not a coach.
Play too, right?
And this is what GMs not GMs. They should be GMs. Athletic directors come in and they try to sell your program to people that can't coach.
Biff Poggi, big win in East Carolina, 55-24. Our favorite coach, or coach of the year every year.
He's 2-0 in the American.
It doesn't matter. It's Biff Poggi. He's our coach every year.
But no, that's another example of you trying to hire a name versus coaching. There's so many assistants that's busted their ass.
Well, Butch Jones. Butch Jones is Arkansas State head coach, and he is 3-2 overall and 1-0 in the Sun Belt now. They did beat South Alabama, who is one of the favorites. James Madison lost to UL Monroe.
Both good teams, though. But 21-19, I'm talking about, let's go some national stuff that nobody gives a shit about the Sun Belt, Sean. Let's look at things that people care about, that watched. Is there anything else to talk about in college as far as last week or yesterday?
Hold on, something is weird here. It says held a message for reason bullying. Allow will post it to chat. It says nobody likes Trent Dilfer. He's a dickbag. I don't know how that's bullying. Trent Dilfer's.
It's just kind of a description. It's not bullying.
Yeah, I don't. So I'll just allow that.
You're not talking about his family or anything like that.
I don't understand what happened there. And
wow, look at what is it? Twitch.
We
have a live stream at Twitter, so they can allow everything. Okay,
well, I could actually do it if I wanted.
You could do both, yeah.
I could, but I'd need to.
Let's do the real social media page.
We would need to remember.
Fuck you, Facebook. I'm bullying you.
We would need. No, that was Twitch.
No, I'm talking about Facebook. I know, and disallowing us because we don't.
We still need like 32 more people or something. So, but no, what I'm saying is we would need. We would need to remember the password.
Stop censoring people.
Yeah.
Opinions matter.
And Wilson Gray says, I want Sunbelt News.
Yeah, nobody does.
No, there's the other thing, Sunbelt News. James Madison, the other favorite, is now 0-1 in the Sunbelt, and they'd been slaughtering. They've been on a hell of a run. Florida beat UCF. UCF is down this year. We did not expect that. We expect them to do better.
Yeah, they've been a disappointment.
Texas Tech took out Arizona.
They also a surprise there.
Huge surprise.
Look at Texas Tech. No, this. You talked about OSU about this is the last year we thought we'd be. Texas Tech, they all thought they were going to be what they are this year. Last year,
right?
Yes, they're actually good.
Well, the standings are 3-0. Texas Tech, BYU, Iowa State, Colorado, and West Virginia are all undefeated in the Big 12. Which you've got BYU and Iowa State as being the two only undefeated teams in the conference, whereas Utah, we had them picked to be undefeated. We had a showdown
UCF
of Kansas State, Oklahoma State.
We had UCF and Oklahoma State up there too.
Right, Oklahoma State's now 0-3, down with a Baylor. And anytime somebody beats Baylor, everybody acts like it's a big thing.
Well, Kansas was also a surprise being.
Kansas being.
We had them 4th or 5th with Kansas State.
Billy Napier just delayed his fate by a week. We don't know about Cam Rising's hand. He's going to be one of those.
Apparently, there is some tough water coolers and wherever he ran into.
Yeah, we're gonna have that going. All right.
Let's preview a little bit of this week's games as we pull them up.
I jumped away.
Let's college. We'll do college a little bit and then we'll move on to NFL and close.
The biggest game we know is OU Texas.
Not a game day choice though, obviously.
Who did they go to?
The second biggest game, Oregon OSU. I mean, it is.
I am so sorry for OU having one fucking loss.
It is true. I mean, and I would do the same thing. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, that's where they should be, even though that's going to be a killer. All right, let's talk about. You want to preview OU Texas right now?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at.
Okay.
I'm trying to get that.
You're good. Good.
We should have at least 2 receivers back. Is that what it is?
Just one Burks. That's it.
I thought Anderson was supposed to be on the men train.
Not coming back ever.
I thought he was going to be on the men.
I joke about that, but he's not this week. That's a fact.
Hey, and guess what? It's not a big noon Saturday game. It's a 2:30 game.
Hallelujah. OSU's the big nooners now.
Hard to pick for game day when Seth Luttrell can't run a sustainable. We know that. We know. You're going to be conservative for 3 quarters and then open up on the 4th.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Willie? Dairy.
So yeah, 1 versus 18. So what happens? Okay, so here's a scenario. If OU beats Texas, where does Texas go? They fall 4 spots, and OU rises 4 spots.
Yeah, they won't be ahead of Texas.
Is that what?
Yeah, they won't be.
Well, no, I got that. But at the same time, is it going to be one of those stupid? Okay, well, we'll only give you 3 to 4 spots because we still believe that OU isn't there, because that's what that's how everybody looks at OU. When OU had its first loss, dropped the shit out of them. We beat Auburn. Everybody else loses.
We lost that game.
I know, but everybody else loses. They drop them a couple spots. You know, they don't lose that much. But if Oklahoma beats Texas, what's going to happen? They're going to drop them 4 spots.
It's the first time that we're going to play a number 1 team. This is Oklahoma. Since they played number 1. Well, they played 2000, and then they played number 1 Missouri in the Big 12 championship. Killed them in 2007.
Where's Missouri?
Were you there?
No, we didn't go that because that was the one in San Antonio.
Gotcha.
So which that was the Chase Daniel. I mean, OU
right.
killed them bad. I mean, it was ugly. And Texas being the number 1 team hasn't happened since 1984, and that ended up in a tie, 15-15.
Oh, they're not going to let us tie this year.
No. But yeah, Red River 2:30 this week. Current opening spread, I haven't looked. I was looking to see if it changed because I'm not getting current opening spread. I heard was going to be about 14.5. Right now, let's see what we're setting in. I mean, obviously OU's going to go into deep underdog to this game. Freshman quarterback Ewers comes back for Texas. Allegedly, that's what's been told.
What do you do if Ewers doesn't play good? First couple quarters.
Well, so I had somebody ask me about that, actually. We were talking to somebody, and he said that if he didn't play good, they pull him immediately, and they put Arch in. Here's the problem with that. Ewers is actually projected to be top 10 draft pick in the NFL next year. Do you pull a top 10 projected draft pick out to put in your guy that's got Manning by the last name, and what if he goes out and loses that game too? I mean, what do? You don't pull him. You let Ewers play. Generally, you shouldn't lose your job because of an injury. So there was a reason why that he was number 1 then. See my point? I mean, wouldn't you think that'd be the same way? Okay, thank you.
$100 pays $450.
Oh, is that what the bet is? I'm trying to find. So some of these odds aren't coming out till tomorrow. I'm looking. Well, the site that I'm looking at. So my apologies. That
you're not looking at
it'll fluctuate.
Thank you, Vegas Insider.
Inspire.
Okay, so let's see.
I think yours is good though, and I do think he's a top 10 draft pick.
14.5, right? 14.5 right now. Bet 365, whatever that is. They must not update it. They were 8.5, but it's jumped to 14.5. Sooners of the dog. Hey, lay the farm. Sooners cover that easy.
Let the arch betting ball.
They potentially, allegedly bet the farm. That was not a prediction or anything that I would give to any advice of gambling. If you have a gambling problem, call the 1-800 gambling.
Water and a sports drink in me.
If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800. I got a gambling problem in Oklahoma, whatever it's called, or anywhere else you might be listening.
Yeah, we're not allowed to let Kenny call that because.
Well, all my picks this week, I knocked it out of the park. Just letting you know, NFL especially. Easy peasy Japanesey.
Did you?
Yeah. I said Houston definitely going to win. I said Trevor Lawrence ain't going 0-5. We'll talk that when it gets to it. But let's talk about OU. Let's go back.
Last time I was on the pod, I actually said he just had a kid, just signed a contract, and that he's not going to be very good this year. So that's usually what happens. And yeah,
who?
Trevor Lawrence.
He didn't have a kid. He got married. He ain't got no kids.
Oh, I thought he had a kid too.
Oh, here we go. Talk.
Did he not?
No, I don't think so. Google it.
I can hear you talking.
Let's find it.
At your ass.
Start adding family stuff, and then they start getting paid. The play goes off the cliff.
Well, now the pay is correct. I mean, there's some pay issues there. But anyway, 2:30 this week. Give me your thoughts, Sean, on what are you feeling?
It's an Oklahoma slobber knocker. No, it's gonna be.
Yeah, they're about to have it.
It's gonna be more embarrassing.
It's announced in the summertime, so yeah. Last time I was on the pod.
It's gonna be more embarrassing OU offense. With a really good defense, and the defense is going to keep us in the game as we go downhill.
So I thought our best offensive performance was 2 weeks ago against Auburn, and I thought our worst defensive performance was against Auburn 2 weeks ago because they gave up too many yards. Now, obviously, they got the right turnover when they needed it, and it was a run back for 6, and that turned the game around. I don't I mean, the upcoming slate for next week, we talk about Texas OU. I mean, no one's going to be surprised if Texas wins. But what's the surprise? I mean, my feeling is OU wins by 7 or less, and OU
Wilson Gray says it's going to look like the Tennessee game.
Texas, also Tennessee. That's another thing. And that's why so high. They should have 2 losses. I mean, we should have beat them.
Texas is better than Tennessee, though.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's going to look like. I mean, that's what
they should have 2 losses. Arkansas and us.
But remember, we have Hawkins
we beat
now,
ourselves.
so that's going to be. So it's 14.5. It opened at 8.5. Now it's 14.5.
Yeah, we talked about that. Anyway, so
I thought you were still trying to find it.
No, I found it. 14.5. Yeah, you were finding it and doing whatever.
No, I thought you were still trying to find it.
No, it's 14.5.
Are you signed in on our account?
No, I'm on my own over here.
You shouldn't be.
Yeah, right there.
You need to get off
it's right there. Yeah, 14.5. We'll do. Oh, I guess we do. When's our next pod? Right after the game? Shit, we're gonna have to do predictions then.
It's gotta be Thursday.
You off Thursday?
Yeah, I'm off Thursday.
Thursday's such a bad day for me.
Is there a high school football game that day?
No, it's. Is
it gonna be Friday?
It's Friday this week. Yeah.
It's gotta be Thursday. This Saturday we're gonna be not correct.
No,
There's no way that we can do it Saturday.
No, we are.
And if we do it Friday, it's gonna end up being late again.
What time is the game?
Yeah, why don't we just do it Friday after the game? Hold on, I'm gonna find.
When is that game?
I'm gonna find the big Chelsea Dragons.
Wilson
schedule.
says pods for Thursday are better than Sunday.
I agree.
Sunday's pods are better than Thursday. But I got to work Sunday. That's why Sunday's out this week.
Oh, that's right. You're
Sunday's out this week.
You're off this week. Okay, big game. Wyandotte 10-11. So that's going to be on a Friday. We're at home. So why don't we just do it Friday?
Well, that's going to be another late night Friday.
Fine. That's fine. We can do Friday or we can do Thursday.
Is it a morning game or a night game?
2:30.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a 2:30 afternoon game.
That'll be fun.
But if we do it on the 11th, that means that it's going to be.
I just need to know when I need to make my big.
We have to do it Thursday. We're doing Thursday.
Doing Thursday.
Do Thursday.
Okay, so I'll make my prediction then.
Yeah.
On this week.
Yeah, we can do that then because we're going to do Thursday.
Okay. Which, for our fans out there, Thursdays it's going to be a little later that night too. So.
Yeah, but not as late as the Friday.
Okay. All right, let's move on. We've kind of we're getting Burks back. We're getting Tatum back. Is what it sounds like. Anybody else, we're not getting back unless I missed something, which I could have. Offensive line, I thought 2 weeks ago played the best. I think we talked about this last week against Auburn. Texas also on a bye week. Ewers comes back. Don't know if that's going to matter much. I mean, he should slide right back in it. Arch Manning give him credit. The kid played better than I thought he would for not playing.
Oh, you will mush Quinn Ewers. He's weak as the bone.
But I do like the fact that
knock him out of the game accidentally.
I do like the fact that, no one's going to say. Ewers played us against last year, and OU fans have to take when they're heading down to Dallas this weekend. They've got to take the fact that we were supposed to lose last year, and we'd beaten 49-0. We won last year. Are we better offensively then? Yes. No, we're not.
No, that was Dylan Gabriel's first game.
No, I know, but we're not better offensively going last year to this year. We're worse. It's now. Kids got.
I'm confused. We were better offensively last year.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But the kids got 2 weeks. We've healthed up a little bit. Offensive line is getting better.
Perfect time for bye week, too.
It was, but Texas also equaled the bye week. It would have been nice if they had to play. But that was probably on purpose. And then you're setting up one of the best weekends in college football that we've seen this year.
I think it's the best game besides the Oregon-Ohio State. There's the Penn State-USC game that's happening. Other than that,
I think California playing Pittsburgh. I know that sounds funny, but California's a good team. Pittsburgh's undefeated. They're ranked. That's going to be interesting. Arizona, BYU. You're going to have that little bit of rivalry.
The old rivalry.
Penn State? Don't think that Penn State at USC is not a good game either.
I brought that. I'm saying Penn State at USC besides us.
Yeah, okay.
Besides OU Texas.
Do you not like the
Penn State USC is probably, other than the Ohio State Oregon.
How do you get this off here, Sean? What? I need this off here.
How did you do that, Kenny?
Okay. So anyway,
we have the Ole Miss
LSU.
Yeah.
That's a huge game. I mean, you're missing that too. And then you've got a rivalry game, Florida at Tennessee. Now Florida,
I don't see that.
It's not. It's not good. And
with Florida being so down, I don't have.
And Vanderbilt, Kentucky.
If I have to watch Josh Bates play center one more time.
But Vanderbilt at Kentucky is not bad either. Speaking of Josh Bates at center, Rom should have stayed this year.
Yeah, you said that last week.
Yes. That was a huge fuck up.
Well, and we found out that Rom.
That's a good game.
We found out that Rom.
He is on a practice squad.
Is on a practice squad for Carolina.
K-State, Colorado. That'll be close.
Yeah, and that's another interesting. Oh, and it's a late one too, so we'll be up late that night.
Hold on, apparently OSU is going to dog walk Oregon.
Agreed. I totally agree.
I don't.
You don't?
I don't think. I think it's going to be a really good game.
Okay, give me. Okay, what's the spread? Go back to your. What was the spread on that game?
Oregon and Oklahoma.
Ohio State. Yeah, because hold on, let me guess.
Ohio State probably like 20.
No, I think the spread. No, don't say it. I'm not even.
Shut up! I said it in a late game.
It's going to be
like
6.
2.5.
Oh, bet the farm on Ohio State.
Okay. Yeah.
I know it's at Oregon. I think Ohio State wins by double digits.
Apparently, we're going to have a farm that we can bet.
Yes, well, we're growing a farm, and we'll bet it. We keep betting it every week. We'll talk about that in the NFL, and we kept it.
You know what's funny right now? Vandy, Kentucky has nothing.
It's undecided.
It's very undecided.
That's actually going to be an interesting game to watch.
Oh, Wilson Grayson will be back next week to collect his prediction.
What's that?
Prediction.
There we go. There we go.
Because OSU is going to dog walk Oregon, so that's.
I agree. I think, and I'm not going to give a score yet, but
I'm saying it's going to be a close game. I think I picked Oregon to win that game too.
You probably did. Oh, really? Yeah. Really, boo. All right, let's move on to NFL. Let's give a quick rundown of NFL because we'll give our predictions Thursday. Thanks for joining us for this portion of that.
That game is supposed to start, and it still hasn't.
It still hasn't started.
By the way,
no, hey, we're close.
By the way, if Dallas beats Pittsburgh, you and I are correct on our picks to the point for Pittsburgh.
How many?
But all of them, of them up to that point. Because we picked them to be 3-0. We picked Indiana to beat them, or Indianapolis to beat them, and we picked Dallas to beat them. Both of us.
And I was given shit, not on live air, but off live air. Why would you pick that team 8-9 as a final? And so far, I've nailed everyone right.
Is that you? Are you Wilson Gray saying, did you see Joe Burrow's stat line? Some Madden shit.
Yeah, and still lost.
Oh, God.
Yeah, we talked about Burrow earlier.
There was an argument earlier about Burrow.
Kenny says that Burrow is not a top 5 quarterback.
Hold on.
And if he started a program, he wouldn't start with him.
No, if I had an NFL team,
there was an argument. You missed the whole argument.
He would not be my top 5 quarterback. I just wouldn't.
That's fucking crazy.
Well, that's your opinion. I mean,
Prettier or pettier? So the Bears, winning record.
Got that pick, yeah.
Yeah, we did. That's our bar pick.
Now, Sean hates Caleb Williams. You remember that?
Massively. I hate the cunt.
And he's actually playing pretty good.
I hope he falls down on his
playoff
face.
win and he's got a jersey.
Yeah, exactly. He'll be rolling in there. Well, I changed my mind.
I'll have a Roman Denze shirt.
Has he done anything?
Yeah.
But thank you, DJ Moore, for helping me win my fantasy and trumping. Most points in the league.
I want to thank Kirk Cousins for being an asshole and throwing 500 yards and screwing me.
Well, let's talk about him. And the game's getting ready to start. It looks like Cowboys-Steelers getting ready to kick off.
No, it actually is going to kick off now.
Okay, so let's talk about Kirk Cousins' night. On Matt Ryan's night, I mean, I mean, there's a reason I drafted Pitts and London in my fantasy.
Initially, yeah, and I wanted London, and you took London from me.
But I mean, Kirk Cousins throws the ball a lot. Zach Robinson is the offensive coordinator. They threw the ball a lot. Made Stafford look good, Stafford's not that good. Also not top 5 quarterback. According to what?
Who'd they play? I can't remember.
Tampa Bay.
Tampa, yeah.
Yeah, Tampa give the game away.
Yeah,
Tampa had that game won. I mean, you look at the first quarter. It's 24-17.
No, what it was everyone want to say the Bucky Irvin fumble. Well, hey, dipshits, watch the game because they got a interception right behind it. Tampa got the ball back. They went conservative.
Stafford is almost as old as Alan Bowman.
Yeah, that is true.
We're not going to argue that.
And I think Stafford's got more eligibility because I don't think he played all year.
Yeah, I think he could go back for a couple more years.
That was some old Georgia shit where they'd always lose in the championship.
Rams and Packers are the 2 youngest teams in the NFL, which I thought was interesting because
the Rams are now.
Yeah. It's Rams.
I think about it. Think about it.
So is Tampa.
Think about their offensive line, their defensive line, their receivers, their running backs.
What's their record? 1-4. Yeah,
well,
they suck.
Injuries are crazy.
But what we're saying is they're one of the younger teams.
I agree. And so is Tampa, 3-2.
They got no O-line. They're all out, and no receivers, kind of like Oklahoma.
Yep, happens. All right, let's go. Let's review a few games. Sean, pick them out. What do you think?
This is last week's game.
Yeah. Well, no. Yeah. We're gonna
today's
review.
game.
That's not preview. Review.
Okay.
We're gonna review.
Bills Texans.
Called it.
Well, you
Do you
saw
have where we actually pick these games before the start of the season?
Yeah, there's somewhere. Yeah,
it's on his.
Well, he's like, I called him. I mean, we could have receipts.
No,
for
I
each
called
one of
this
these.
last week. I mean, no, I'm saying.
No, we're talking about.
There was two teams that I knew that was going to win for sure this week. 3. It was the Texans. It was the Jaguars, and it was the Bears. The Commanders.
So the Texans. So we saw what happened to C.J. Stroud's offense without Nico Collins, because Nico Collins went out the first half with a hamstring injury.
I didn't watch the game.
He's possibly not top 10.
He went out.
Who?
Nico Collins.
But Nico Collins.
I said top 5. I don't think he is. But
you got to look. They were up 17-3.
He's got the number 1 quarterback that I picked to start a team, though. That makes a difference.
Shut up. And Nico Collins went out with a hamstring in the first half, and you only get 3 and 3 in the next 2 quarters, whereas the Bills all of a sudden start turning it on because they're getting better field positioning. So you gave the Bills, and you barely pulled that game out of their ass. The Houston Texans did.
Yeah, but I don't think that's Nico, because I think if you look at the Texans' offense in the previous games,
big part of it, huge part of it.
Huge, you call it huge, but look at the previous games. The score, you're looking at scoring amounts, and the Texans have not been as good on offense this year as they were last year.
Look at Josh Allen's stat line in that game too.
Yeah,
he's top 5. You start a franchise with that.
I did not. No,
I don't think
his turnovers bother me a little bit.
By the way, nobody picked Allen in any of our discussion.
About who?
The quarterback discussion. You want to get into that?
No, we'll do that after we finish the games.
I just say, but
hold on. Propose that. I mean, tell the listeners what we're talking about. They're going to.
So I asked Kenny, myself, and I texted Zach and Creston, the OG of Sports Allegedly, and I said, at this point, before this week happened, at this point, who are your top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL right now? Your opinion, who are your top 5? And so I took all of our top 5s, and then I looked against what the stats were, what the NFL, with the complete stats for last week said were the top 5.
And you're just talking, and that was the key, because I asked.
Just right now.
Yeah.
I said up to now, in your opinion, who is performing better? Not their defenses, them. The quarterback themselves. Who's performing?
Yeah.
So that's the preface.
So we're talking about Texans, and you're blaming Nico Collins for this inefficient.
No, I'm saying
you say it's a huge part, but let me give you a little stats that I pulled out.
Look at by the quarter. Nico, no.
Well, no, but hold on. But Nico, that's the first time he's went out all year, to my knowledge.
It is.
Played the Colts game 1, 29 points they scored. Colts is trash. We've known this.
Yeah.
They just lost to the undefeated Trevor Lawrence's
Undefeated.
today. No, the defeated.
Why is Joe Flacco not starting so?
No, the defeated. He was. He started today and had a good stat line.
I know. That's
hold on. Next game. Hold on.
Hold on. I've got Kermit, Lamar, Baker, Burrow, and Allen.
Okay, so if you start listen to the next game, the stats. Nico's there. They scored 19 points against the Bears. Vikings. Nico's there. They scored 7.
Yeah, but that was a really good. We talked about the Bears defense being a really good defense.
I'm giving you the comparisons of Nico and this whole thing that you think because they didn't score much against the Bills. 29-19, 7 against the Vikings. Nico was there. 24 against the Jags. Trash. And 23 today. And this isn't a Nico thing.
And we know that Minnesota is an amazing, weird defense.
They give up more points to the shitty Jets today, who doesn't have a running game.
They were in England or Munich. I don't. They were
London.
Okay, so England. So I had it right the first time.
No, I'm just saying Nico's not the problem with the offense. It's just been kind of an odd offense. And you've got Joe Mixon out this game
He's
too.
out, so it didn't help.
Yeah. So anyway, and that's number one that I'd start my quarterback. What did he say? Who's our fan?
It's Wilson Gray.
Yeah, no, I know. What was his?
It's Kermit, Lamar, Baker, Burrow, and Allen.
Yeah, so statistically this year, so you can write them
Mahomes,
down. Not
Lamar.
who you'd start a team with, just this year who's got the best statistics so far before this week.
Yeah, no, I've got that right.
So anyway, no, we'll talk about it in a minute. So write his down, though, is what I'm saying.
Oh, I can see it right there. Unless he keeps talking.
So anything else as far as that goes? But the Texans were for sure win. I called today. It was a little closer than I thought. I think the Bills are kind of a fraud.
Yeah,
Zach's right about Josh.
You only had to get one on that.
Zach's right about Josh Allen. I mean, he tends to throw mistakes. I don't like their running game at all, even though the offensive line looks to be one of the best.
I don't want to write it down. I don't have an ink pen.
So, anyway, move on to the other games.
Niners.
Big upset of the week, Brock Purdy.
But what did he do wrong? What did Brock Purdy do wrong?
19-35. He's got the best.
Through a game-losing interception.
Yeah, I mean, no, not Brock. I mean,
it was the end of the game. It was. I mean,
he's got a QBR of 29 and a rating of 62
in this game.
The QBR, he's not that good, folks.
Hey, how did Jordan Mason? Can I have Jordan Mason now?
He's just not that good.
89 yards now.
He's just not that good.
Why did George Kittle get a damn touchdown? I did not need that.
I'm waiting on your opinion, Sean, about
the Ayuk thing too, where he's been having trouble with the coaches and stuff, and they're like, "Oh God, thank God no one picked him up. Maybe dodged a bullet."
Yeah, Brock Purdy's not doing
best
Brock Purdy
game
things
that he's had, I think, in his entire career.
Are you signing Brock Purdy to a Dak Prescott contract?
Yes, because that's what GMs do. They don't think logically. But you're right. That is what they're going to do.
As long as they don't sign him to a Jay Cutler.
But I will be honest.
As long as you don't sign him to a Jay Cutler or a Kirk Cousins contract.
I mean, he doesn't have Christian McCaffrey. He's still making it. His interception today was tipped. I don't think he's as terrible as you do. You just don't like it.
No, I don't think he's terrible. I just think he's not that good. But I don't think Dak Prescott's that good.
What was the score?
There's so many quarterbacks in this league that I just don't think that's good. 3-0 right now.
Well, and also, Kenneth, you also hate Sam Darnold, but now you love Sam Darnold.
I never said I hated him. I just think he's that good.
Yeah, we didn't really have an opinion on it.
And I think you look at the Vikings, and like I said this before, the season started, even though I only picked them 6 or 7 wins, the Vikings have a good defense. Someone argued with that, me, Sean. And also, they have a good offensive line.
They had 2 guys die.
And they had... Now, that was one that had never played in the NFL.
Wilson, you need to knock that shit off.
No, has not played.
Brock is not Jay Cutler. That's Kirk Cousins.
But no, I mean, the Vikings, they had everything built around them. Kirk Cousins, I mean, they had good years. Kirk just could never win a big game. He's not going to win a big game when it comes to playoff time this year.
Trevor Lawrence is Jay Cutler.
No, Kirk Cousins is Jay Cutler 2.0.
No, he's not. Kirk Cousins is way better.
Far more than Jay Cutler.
Yes, yeah. Stop.
And Cousins is far better than Trevor Lawrence.
How many playoff wins do each of them have?
What are you looking at, some rando stat line?
I'm just looking at their overall stat line.
I mean, you look at the Vikings that Cousins played how many years with that had just shit teams?
And Jay Cutler played how many years with shit teams?
I mean, you look at Zimmer, who coached just one, and the Bears, and that was shit, generally.
Yeah, Kirk Cousins was shit with the fucking Vikings.
Did Cutler win?
Nobody had good stats.
So did Cutler.
Do I?
Cutler went to the fucking playoffs, went to the championship game against Aaron Rodgers, and chipped his little baby knee and was like, "Oh, I can't finish." Whereas we were about to fucking win the game and go to the fucking Super Bowl.
Obviously some bitterness here.
Very much bitterness, because Jay Cutler is goddamn trash.
But I mean, I would...
Kirk Cousins is the same fucking person.
He's not.
Trash.
Cousins is better.
Oh,
Trevor Lawrence, though.
Look up their playoff wins, and you tell me.
Yeah, but you're only going to go playoff wins. I mean, that doesn't. You act like a quarterback means everything to
Look
a
at their
playoff
overall
team.
wins.
Okay.
Go.
Oh, yeah.
Now.
Overall wins.
Anyway, keep talking.
No.
If I'm looking at something, there's got to be content on this show.
Oh.
So let's look at the other games.
The Ravens come back against the Bengals. Now, did anybody happen to see that game? Did you guys watch that game?
No. Zach was watching it. Were you not, Zach?
Yeah, I watched it.
Were you watching that? Yeah, Cincinnati had
Give
the
us your
game
preview
complete
of that
control and
What was the place kicker?
okay, well that's it for that game.
Yeah, he just fumbled the ball in his hands.
Even though Burrow threw a pick at the end, right? Didn't he throw that big pick when they were...
you should have made the fucking field goal, and you didn't.
Okay, then we have the Jaguars-Colts, where the Jaguars tried to give the game away at the end of the game with Joe Flacco getting 21 points.
Oh, Jaguars did win. Hey, Trevor Lawrence.
Called that too? No, he's not very good. It's the Colts. The Colts are trash. Their defense is horrible. It's just... And Richardson's not playing. But, hey, look at the stats, Sean. Actually, let's talk about Flacco's stats.
If Richardson was playing, would they have won that game?
I don't think so.
I know. Yeah, it's just...
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying Flacco didn't have bad stats. I mean, wouldn't you think that the Dolphins would be love to have a little Joe Flacco right now with those two receivers?
Imagine 40 more yards and 2 more touchdowns.
Rookie for LSU was badass for the Jags. Who is that?
He's on my fantasy team. Drafted him.
The rookie for the Jags?
Yes.
The wide receiver?
Yes.
Brian Thomas Jr.?
Yes.
Okay, then say that, goddammit!
That's what I said, yes.
You just didn't say
yes.
yeah. You didn't say a name.
Oh, I didn't know you need a name. I thought you knew him because you said, who's that rookie that's on the Jacksonville?
No, I was asking a question over here. It says
Yes.
the rookie for LSU's a badass for the Jags.
Yes, Thomas. I've got him on. I drafted
Jesus
him.
Christ.
I'm the GM of the year. Have you not seen my fantasy picks?
You're going to lose horribly next week. You do realize
He's going
that.
to finish about 5 or 6.
No, it's
I keep telling you.
the Texans haven't even hit their stride, and I'm just letting you know when C.J. Stroud does, because it's not Nico, it's all year long. When they hit it, they'll be ready to go. DJ Moore, we got Williams throwing the ball all over the place.
DJ Moore.
I've got. He's a wide receiver for your team.
Huh?
Is he not?
Caleb Williams?
Yeah,
Is he not in your team?
Huh? They got to play the Packers and the Vikings.
I'm just saying when they throw it, but yes, I now Neighbors was the best wide receiver on that LSU team last year.
Malik.
But Robinson was real damn close to being just as good.
Oh, and let's not forget about Keenan Coleman, who Kenny now is in love with.
No, I didn't. I drafted him, and actually, he's available for trade if anybody wants him on our.
Are you doing Coleman?
He had a little. He had some action today. I need a running back.
Oh, I don't have anything now.
Zach.
All my shit's gone to hell.
Zach's tried to trade Brees Hall forever.
Hey, I've got that tight end, Cody Parkinson. If you want him, he did a 12.
Yeah.
They did. That's all I'm saying.
But anyway, no, Joe Flacco was not the problem in that game. They give it.
Oh, no, I didn't say that. I'm saying Joe Flacco came back at the end.
No, that's what I'm saying. 3 touchdowns, had a quarterback.
24.
I mean,
yeah,
he had a QBR of 70.
24 points in the fourth quarter.
Well, he had a QBR of 76. I think Purdy was in the 20s. If you want to go back and look at that, if you hadn't already deleted it, because you know that quarterback sucks ass.
No, he doesn't. You need to lay up Purdy.
Yeah, whatever.
When he wins the Super Bowl, what are you going to do?
Shanahan won't win a Super Bowl.
He's never going to win a Super Bowl.
Oh, he's going to win. You said never.
Joe Burrows coming to San Francisco next.
I would say
Top
that
6 quarterback might win it.
Yes, Flacco is definitely younger than Alan Bowman. I mean,
Top 6.
You said top 5.
The Broncos beating the Raiders was not a surprise this year.
But the Broncos were a little bit of a surprise. They're a little
I
bit
want to hear you talk about Bo
Look
Nix.
at my
Chargers about beat the
hey,
Chiefs.
look at my other generational pick. I told you there was 2 picks.
Brock Bowers?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, we knew that.
Yeah. Did we?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, nobody
Just
ever disagreed about Brock Bowers being a great tight end.
I said generational.
But what we disagreed with was Bo Nix, and I said he's going to turn out to be a decent NFL quarterback, and so far he has. It took him a couple games to learn, and he is starting to get the rhythm.
He's impressed me. I'll give him credit.
Now, he spent 8 years in the fucking NCAA, but hey, 8 years.
Yeah, this was the year I should have picked the Broncos to be second in the division. Not last year.
I think it actually screwed all of us.
Yeah, I think we all had him 4.
I think we
Where
all.
are they at over? Yep,
I'm
4
gonna
right
say-
there. Hey, they're 5.5. What are they at now? They're already 3 wins.
They're already
their
halfway.
over-under was 5.5.
You're already halfway there. I think we picked him at 4 wins total.
I'm going to say Miami probably doesn't hit theirs. That was one I was looking at.
I am a believer.
Yeah.
I've been a believer.
Cincinnati was 10.5. We all had the over.
Now, did anybody see the Dolphins beating the Patriots in this game?
Nobody cares. Move on.
But that's what I'm saying. Did anybody see the?
No.
Could go either way. Wouldn't touch it.
Jalen Daniels continues for the Commanders to be Rookie of the Year.
Giants. Yeah, I know. And that's for me.
Hey,
Giants. Giants. Seahawks.
That was a surprise.
Yeah, the Seahawks have dropped 2 straight now.
Can you look at the stats on that, Zach? What was the? God, what were we talking about? What was the game before I just? Marvin Harrison, Cardinals. He do anything this week? Did you watch that game?
I didn't see anything that stood out.
Daniel Jones, quarterback rating is 72, higher than Brock Purdy. Just reminding everyone. Geno Smith also higher than Brock Purdy at a 50. Daniel Jones had a good day. He's one of the cheapest quarterbacks in the league on a non-rookie contract, and I got shit for saying that was a good signing of 4 years, $160 million.
Hey,
they could have cut him already.
How's that Kenneth Walker the third pick still going for you?
Good. How's your Charbonnet pick going for you?
It's a 2 for 11.
Okay.
He went 5 for 19.
Yeah, when they lost.
He's 7 yards back and only had 2 carries.
Who's Tyron Tracy? Is he available?
Available?
He had 19 yards the whole game.
Yes.
God.
But who's Tyron Tracy?
He's about to be mine.
They shut the.
About to be yours.
Singletary's out.
Yes, he's trash too.
About to be mine for $120.
Sean's going all in.
Well, Kenneth Walker receiving.
That's 7 for 75, 57.
Yeah.
You know, you look at Seattle. It's just never a team you thought would win big. It's just they're there to fuck everything.
It's a weird team that's been held together.
The Giants.
By Mike McDonald.
I mean, the Giants are 2-3. Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones is Daniel Jones. I mean, what else do they have for him though?
Who?
I mean, you look at Eric Gray. Isn't he our former our former running back?
Yep.
And he's got
3 of 50.
Yeah. Wandale Robinson.
But what did Eric Gray do in rushing for 4 yards?
Yeah, exactly. Well, Tyron Tracy was killing it. The Giants aren't a good team.
And
offensively.
Eric Gray's is it? No, Eric Gray's second year.
Third, maybe. I think it's third or fourth.
Second.
No, he's not second.
Well,
We'd love to have him 2 years ago, I promise you.
Did he not play against?
Ramondre Stevenson might be in his second or third year.
No. Yeah,
Was
2023.
Ramondre was
2023.
Damn.
Yeah, dude, we had him.
So Ramondre was before him.
Yeah, Ramondre.
Gotcha.
And Ramondre had a good.
That's
game
right,
this
because
year.
he's on his second contract.
Oh yeah, that stuff I was spewing about last night about Ramondre's backup or whatever. Who writes these fantasy articles? Are they just writing shit to write shit?
You can. I mean,
they're going to start the backup.
Yeah, just so they can get you to
Yeah,
read
they
it.
start him like the first snap, and they're like, okay, back to the bench. That guy just tore it up. I was like, fuck.
Kind of like Daxton in that football game the other night. Yeah, it's like, get out.
Hey, Daxton got to play.
Yes, he did. So, moving on. What other games we want to talk about real quick? Then we'll give our
that's
prediction.
about
That's it, really? There
have-
was one we're missing. Hey, I mentioned the Commanders a little bit. Biggest surprise, not to us,
I don't
because
know.
we had them
Who? Washington
And
or
6.5. We had them over, even though it's not wrote down. We need to go back and look at our picks because I think we had
Jets
them
and Vikings.
in the
Vikings are
playoffs.
still 5-0.
What?
They're
The
there.
Vikings
Okay.
are 5-0.
Vikings are the most surprised.
Nobody.
Biggest
picked
surprise.
that.
Biggest surprise. And their defense played a little sloppy, but Aaron Rodgers.
They get really sloppy at the end. They wear out. They did the same thing with
a
the
lot
Packers.
of prevent defense.
Vikings?
It's Flores.
Yeah,
It's Brian
the
Flores.
second
a lot of
half,
prevent.
they're just like.
And he's a cover
Doesn't
2
Brian
guy.
Flores still have a lawsuit against the NFL?
He's still coaching and getting paid.
Well, I know, but doesn't he still have?
Hey, Browns, thank God you just signed Stefanski to an extension, and you got Deshaun for another 10 years. So.
Another 30 years. I was not surprised by that game. That's why I never brought it up. I figured Washington was.
I didn't think it would be that big.
Oh, I did.
I didn't think it was that because the Browns at the beginning of the year were supposed to have this good defense, and they've still got some talent to be on that defense. It's
But their
just
offense.
they're
is fucking
giving
them.
up.
Their offense is fucking them.
It's the one team that's given up
It's
already.
another one of those. Your offense is fucking your defense.
Yeah. Well, no, the Browns.
Yeah. Your offense is screwing.
They
your
are
defense.
the worst run program or team.
Yeah, the Browns
franchise.
I would make.
Franchise.
Wilson Gray, they do definitely.
I'll make
the Browns
argument.
definitely
Cleveland's
deserve everything
defense
they
is
get right
supposed to
now.
be a lot better than.
Because look at how well.
I
look
agree.
at how well Baker Mayfield's
But
doing.
I think they've given up. I think they've really given up.
The whole team?
Because the whole
Because
team's just
Deshaun
given up
and just like
to everything.
that,
They're
yeah.
like, we're fucked. We're not, and they're not going to bench him
Well, remember they
because
didn't.
they're owed too much.
Well, they didn't re-sign Flacco. They're betting on, and then they
Just
try
a
to
bad
trade,
situation.
but they also tried to trade Peoples-Jones. You remember that early in the year, they tried to trade Peoples-Jones.
Hey, listen, nobody's Peoples that's listening to this gives a shit about that. They just suck.
But they did. But
They're
really
not. He's
did.
not that good. You can trade him, and he'd be the third best fucking wide receiver on the Pittsburgh Steelers, who has no wide receiver.
They were just trying to trade all these people.
Speaking of that, let's give an update on the Pittsburgh Steelers for our fans.
3-3.
Oh, it's 3-3.
Oh, got a field goal. What, did he kick an 80-yarder? Because that guy's good.
Oh, wait, they just gave the ball back to Dallas because they just had the ball. Oh, no. Justin Fields, 23-13. Najee Harris, 15.
Najee's had a good year. You haven't really talked about him much.
Ah!
Because he's had a good year because
Those
the other guy's
eyes.
hurt.
Oh, is Warren still out?
Yes.
Like
These
for the
guys
year,
could
or
bring
what?
a lot of
Just
love.
had for recently. And
Anything else? Scroll down one more time.
Look
See
at
if we missed
Najee
anything.
Harris' stats.
Well,
This is what
Hold on.
Kenny says is good.
Not tonight.
No, just in general.
I didn't say good. I said I think he's a good
What'd you
running
say?
back. I think he's a good running back. Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
what's his stats on the year?
I mean, I'm not saying I'd take him top 5.
He's 20th in the league in yards.
4 games played, 68 yards, 68 carries, 228 yards. He's averaging 3.4, which is his worst so far. He has 0 touchdowns. His longest is only 21 yards. He has
For a
10
team that doesn't
10
pass the
fart
ball, by
darts. Oh,
Because they have a running quarterback now.
10,
so you
10,
need to take an
10
effective
first
back.
downs.
the way. Yeah.
They have a running quarterback now.
0 fumbles on the year, so that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah.
His receiving is 4 of 10, 15 targets, 84 yards. As long as it's 32, 2 first downs, no touchdowns. Whereas his production has steadily gone down since his rookie year
Yep.
for
receiving, and I would say for rushing as well.
All right, we're sitting about an hour. God, an hour and an hour. Let's get to the preview of this next week. This week coming up. Hey, well, no. What's tomorrow night's games?
Chiefs, Saints.
Yeah, and there should be 2. Is there 2?
No, I
tomorrow?
think it's only one. Maybe we have 4 teams off.
Yeah, it's bye week. First bye week.
It is.
Yeah.
And who
So-
had the first bye week? Who gets the fucking
Philly,
the
Titans.
unfortunate?
Philly, Detroit, Tennessee.
It's the worst bye week to have.
And Chargers.
Yes, it's the worst bye week to have.
And I think this is
The first one?
Detroit.
yes,
Yeah.
and it's also
It's one of these teams. It's the same bye week that they had last season.
So they got fucked.
Yeah, they got fucked for the second year in a row.
But then you look at the Titans. I was looking at, or not Titans, the Texans. Their bye week is like week 13 or 14, which is nuts. Which is
so
also
you guys
the
aren't
worst.
going to heal.
No, that's the problem. Now they're going to heal for the playoffs, and that'll be right around fantasy playoffs when the Texans are healed and ready to roll. Just letting you know. But you got Nico, so that's good. Anyway, all right, let's look at this week's preview.
This week's Thursday game is Niners Seahawks, which Kenny hates.
Would not touch.
Bears Jags are going to start off the week. I believe
Yeah,
that's
where are they
London.
at?
That's
They're
the
in
London.
again. Okay,
That's the
Jaguars
8:30.
always go to London.
Yeah. Steelers Raiders, Cards Packs. There's not going to be a game. Colts Titans.
That's not going to be a game. The Cardinals and Packers.
no. Packers.
I think
have
that'll be kind of a good game.
It will be a good game.
Texas Patriots. Buccaneers Saints is going to be a fun game.
It's at the Saints. We'll lose. Bet the farm on it.
Browns Eagles.
Cool.
That's going to be a.
Ooh, the
that's gonna be
Commanders
one
at Ravens. That's
They set that up on purpose.
They
That's
did.
But
gonna
it's
be
the
good,
noon
yeah.
game,
did.
though. It's the noon game. Hey, don't count out Chargers Broncos.
No, I'm saying Chargers Broncos is going to come in.
Division.
Lions Cowboys as.
Lions.
Cowboys, if they win tonight, they're going to be 3-2.
Notice they don't have a spread on them yet.
Nice
Because
NFL.
they're playing.
Killer night game. You guys really know how to pick
Oh
them.
my God! Well, now let's start flexing already. I mean,
Yeah, they're not going to flex that Bengals
No.
game.
Monday
And
night
then the
game,
Monday's Bills Jets.
Snorefest.
Wouldn't be bad if the Jets.
Yeah, so
offense
next
could
week's
turn it
just
on.
going to be Kenny's
Well,
confidence in his fantasy team is going to lead to heartbreak. I know that. I'm well aware that he can't pull back the reins.
Looks like trash. I mean, this is kind of a boring schedule next week. Isn't it?
Kenny's fantasy team.
I
is
actually
a
like
boring
the
team.
Commanders. Is the Commanders the best game? Honestly,
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be.
It's gonna be fun to watch.
and Lions and Cowboys will be watchable, obviously, and it's at Dallas, so that'll be even better for them. So,
I don't know.
Are we
You've got
doing
a
those
2 and
quarterbacks?
you've got a 1-4 Cincinnati
That's
at a
close
2-3 New York Giants. Do you think it's just going to be like all defense for that game?
No, it's gonna be all offense.
For that game?
No, just for fucking Cincinnati.
Oh.
Because they have the best wide receivers. I drafted one on my
I'm well aware
fantasy.
of your
1,300, almost 1,400 yards, 12 touchdowns, 2 interceptions.
Well, if you throw the ball all the time, I mean, look at the average. It's not
I
gonna
wouldn't
be that
start
high.
him
Well,
as
hold
my
on
top
now.
5.
Let's
I
look
wouldn't
at
either.
Caleb Williams has 1090.
Yeah, and he's a rookie. And you
5
got-
and 4.
Gardner Minshew's running with 877. Kyler Murray's only 777. Will Levis.
Hey, but you know one thing about Kyler Murray though? Look at the turnovers. Just
4
one.
and 6 for Levis.
Just one. Though. Just one. You know, and that's the key.
It was a bad one today too.
Didn't Josh Jacobs get injured?
Oh, I don't know. For the Packers?
Yeah, I think he did.
I know he scored early.
Yeah, he got it intercepted
First
right
touchdown.
in front of him, just like a being short thing.
Who did?
Kyler.
Oh,
the
did
defender just ran right in front of him. He threw it to him.
Didn't
Just
see him.
Dan
to him,
Campbell's
yeah.
going to drag his nuts across that star.
Jalen
on the
Hurts 4 and
50.
4. Ugh.
What's that?
Oh, Jalen Hurts 930, 4 for 4.
Oh, we don't talk about him on this program.
Baker 11 and 2, and Joe Burrow 12 and 2. Those yards are good. 2 of my leaders.
All right,
All right,
so
let's bring him up. Look at the question. Let's see what we picked.
So the question was, who are your 5 quarterbacks up to this point? And now we've got Wilson
This
Gray.
season.
This
This
season,
season.
and that was up to week 4?
Yeah, didn't count this week's
Yeah, we didn't count this week. Let me go back here.
because we had a late
to-
pod. That's why we didn't.
We did.
Yeah.
We did. So Wilson Gray says it's Kermit, Lamar, Baker, Burrow, and Allen. I picked Kermit, Stroud, Daniels, Purdy, and Mayfield.
You're
Kenny
talking about
West.
Daniels at the Giants?
No,
Oh, Jaden
Jaden
Daniels.
Daniels.
Okay, gotcha.
why would I pick Daniels?
What the fuck is that guy?
Name your 5 one more time.
Mahomes, Stroud, Daniels, Purdy, and Mayfield.
Stroud, Purdy, Mayfield, and who? Oh, Daniels.
Kenny chose Darnold, Daniels, Mahomes, Allen, and Mayfield.
In order. That's my order.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
the order
You
that
gotta
we
do it
chose.
in order.
Darnold, Daniels, who?
Mahomes, Allen, and Mayfield. Jeez, I've already got it
Sorry,
written down.
sorry.
I don't know why he's writing it down.
Dude.
Why is he writing it down?
This year?
I just wanted to see how much we compared.
Creston chose Allen, Stroud. I think there was a red flag on that. Is there a challenge?
I didn't.
No, it's just the disrespect to Joe Burrow is hilarious. Allen over Joe Burrow is criminal. I mean,
Statistics?
Well,
I mean,
hold on now.
This is just this year.
I'm only seeing two people that have chose Burrow in this whole thing. So Creston chose Allen, Stroud, Love, Lamar, and Cousins.
Cousins has kind of been down so far this year.
Oh, I know. He had the one
You
good
can't-
game. He
well,
had the
you
one
can't
good
count
game.
the last one.
yeah, because
Yeah.
What didn't count?
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
before that last game. And then Zach chose Mayfield, Darnold, Stroud, Burrow, and Purdy.
Okay, so 2 things about that. I don't think, and I don't know the list. I don't know the outcome because Sean hasn't said it. I don't think Stroud is on there yet because he's had some low numbers, and I don't think Purdy is either because
well,
he's
I
just not
traded
been
out
good.
Stroud for Daniels. I had Daniels in the first one, but I traded Stroud for Daniels because Daniels has
Who did I trade
struggles
5
to find
for?
the
I
end
traded
zone.
Mayfield. I had
Mayfield for Goff.
I had Goff at 5, and I was like, well, he kind of sucked though too.
He
Forgot about
struggles to
Mayfield.
find the end zone.
All right,
now. I mean,
so-
he's got 4 touchdowns.
Here's the go. Here's
All right.
So
So
all right, down, here we go.
you go into you want to what do you want to look at first? So in completion percentage,
I mean, I'm just talking overall
Completion, if you look at the
Okay.
receivers that throw, they're
completion
100%.
percentage.
Like, stop. Like,
completion percentage is going to be Daniels, 100%.
it is. It's Daniels, Geno Smith, Derek Carr, Jared Goff, and Joe Burrow.
I mean, did you do a conglomerate of quarterback rating?
Yeah,
of
yeah, I've
some-
got it.
Okay,
I've
that's
got
what
it.
you need to
I've
go
got it.
to because that
So the
factors
QBR,
everything.
okay, so the QBR is Allen, Dalton, Darnold, Daniels, and Purdy.
Who?
was that one game for Dalton, though?
Dalton.
No, he's
Andy
played 3.
Dalton.
He's played 3. I
Fuck,
looked.
I forgot about Andy Dalton.
I looked. He's played 3.
Up to this?
Yes, he
yeah,
played
he
3.
didn't play the first game.
He didn't play the.
Is that the only game that
Yeah.
that's when they pulled him? I
Yeah.
thought What's-His-Face played 2 games.
Yeah, everybody else has played 4
Or
games up to
one,
this.
he might have played 1.5 actually.
Everybody else had played, and so
So nobody picked fucking Andy
Gray's
Dalton.
got Kermit, Lamar, Baker,
He had a
Burrow,
really
and
good
Allen.
game. It's gonna put
So
his
the
stats up
QBR
there.
is at the rating. Is there? Did
Yeah,
you
it's
do
the
2
QBR.
separate?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. The rating
Okay,
is
separate.
Darnold, Allen, Daniels, Mayfield, and Burrow.
Did I get 4 out of 5? Did you do some stats on this? Did you do some? Okay.
Darnold,
Missed fucking Burrow though.
Allen, Mayfield, Daniels.
What about touchdowns and
Yeah,
turnovers?
you don't have Burrow. You don't have Burrow. And
Well, I know I don't have Burrow. He's trash. He would have been number 6.
Yeah.
I was asked about top 5, not top 6.
Yeah, who do you felt was the better quarterback for up to this point?
So did I get 4 to 5?
I think you did.
Okay, so you've got to count rating or just QBR, one of the two.
The Ginger Ninja.
QBR is probably the best one to go.
Well, okay, so but the
Because that factors everything.
if you want the QBR, it's Allen, Dalton, Darnold, Daniels, and Purdy. Which you didn't pick Purdy
Or Dalton.
or Darnold or
Dalton. Yeah, but I think Dalton's a bit of a miscue because he didn't play all the games.
He's only missed one game though up to that point.
1.5 is what I really think.
Did you say Daniels was on that?
Of course he
Is
was.
that simply because of completion? I mean, he's got. I mean, at this
It's your
point,
QBR.
at this
rating.
point, he had
Hold
two
on.
touchdowns.
You
That
want to
factors
know?
quarterback ratings and
Look.
You play 4
Hold
games
on.
and have 2 touchdowns.
Hold on.
It's not good in my top.
You want to go
five.
to you want to
can't
go to
find the end
yards?
zone.
You want to go to yards? It's Geno, Purdy, Prescott, Stroud, and Goff for
Well,
yards.
I know. I mean, what's that? Like I said,
Touchdown.
He can't find the end zone.
Hold on, touchdowns are Darnold, Mayfield, Burrow, Allen, and Carr at that point. Well, okay, Carr's
At
tied.
that point, I don't.
At
think,
that point,
I don't
Carr
think
was
Daniels
tied.
would be top 20. He's like bottom 5.
Carr was
But
tied.
he runs some. I mean, you're looking at passing. I mean, does the running quarterback get that in there?
I believe it's passing touchdowns, not rushing.
Yeah, he reminds me of Lamar. his
So
first
Carr,
year.
Prescott, Mahomes, Murray,
throw
Love,
it,
and Stroud all
just
have the
runs.
same.
That shit doesn't work. Lamar changed.
He's trying.
Yeah, he's trying.
Now
to.
the quarterbacks that have taken
Who's the
the
quarterback? Who's time out real quick as we talk about Commanders? Who's the wide receivers?
Scary
McLaren.
Terry. Yeah.
You said is shit.
I don't think Terry McLaurin's shit.
No, I didn't say he was shit.
He's looking like shit
What
with
did I say he was shit?
Jaden Daniels. He's not throwing it to him.
No, he is throwing to him now.
Yeah, today. Yeah,
He did it. He did it
Did
the
he have
week
a good
before.
game today?
No.
Somebody's got him on fantasy and bitched about him
Me.
all the time. Okay,
Yeah,
you.
He doesn't really throw to him.
He threw it to him last week too.
He's a first read, takes off running. That's why he's got 2 touchdowns up to that point.
All right.
Now he's got, 4? That's cool.
We're not counting today.
We're 5. Yeah, I know. We're 5 games in.
Oh my God! Because he said shithole. They're
I'm just
not gonna
saying, I'm not. The
allow-
data is not there for me to pick that guy yet. Okay, this was
I-
4 games in
I don't know.
And
I don't know
I
why
picked
it's doing
Daniels
that.
because statistically he was there.
because the completion.
Yeah, Green Bay is
percentage
a
looks
shit.
good,
Definitely.
but he's not throwing it. As
But the
much.
whole thing is,
First
you,
read,
okay. Here's the
throws it
thing.
to the
Well,
guy that's-
hold on.
Last week-
Are you pulling his stats up? Let me
Who's?
pull. Fuck it. I mean, you're wrong about
what?
Jake
About what?
Daniels.
The
About
completion
his stats.
percentage?
Yes.
What are you talking about?
Doesn't matter. I mean,
What
you
are you yelling
still
about?
Your completion percentage is going to be high when you don't throw it that much.
What are you talking about?
go ahead talk about it. I'll pull
Well,
it.
no, I'm saying the guys that the quarterbacks that have taken the most
He
sacks
throws
this
left,
year,
less
Watson,
than
Williams,
most quarterbacks.
Brissett, Mayfield,
I
and
don't know how
Levis
they
are
throw
all
it.
tied.
What?
Watson has taken the most sacks.
Yeah.
Williams, Brissett, Mayfield, and Levis.
Brissett. Where's he? Oh, New England.
Yeah, he's in New England. So Brissett, Mayfield, and Levis have all taken the same amount of sacks.
What's the update on the score?
Interception leaders:
Yes.
Levis, Richardson, Mahomes,
He's not going to be able to
Cousins,
find it last week. 'cause
Smith,
there's
Goff,
another week.
Love, Hurts, Nix.
So
and
who was the top 5 in interceptions? Well, obviously Levis.
throwing the most interception. Levis, Richardson, Mahomes, Cousins, and then you've got Smith, Goff, Love, Hurts, Nix, and I don't know whose name that is.
Well, yeah, I mean that's one of
Another
the.
thing about Daniels,
Hold
he's not
on.
going to have high. He's going to have a high percentage and not that many
Who?
interceptions.
Who?
Daniels, because he's not throwing it that much. I mean,
Okay.
that's what I'm saying. He's not really throwing the ball.
25
I mean, today he had an
hold
awesome
on.
missile. Looked great.
Hold on. So let's see. What was season started? Was that Tampa? No. What was the first season? Their first game, Sean.
First game for what?
Yeah. Okay. There it is. It's 9:28. They've already played. Is it 5 games already?
This
They're
is
already
the
in.
fifth game.
Okay. So 24, 29, 23, 30, 25. That's enough throws.
Yeah.
Okay. So he was 17 to 24. That's 70%. He's 23 to 29. That's 79%. 21 to 23, 90%. 26 to 30,
Are you talking about Daniels?
86%. And he's 14 to 25. His worst game was today. He
Yeah.
played his worst game today.
Okay.
But I'm saying
I'm not arguing with that.
you're
that's
wrong. He's thrown enough
I
to
mean,
get that percentage.
Yeah, I mean, most of the other quarterbacks on the list are throwing. over 30.
Recap of
Look at
local
all
high
of them.
school games.
Well, I mean,
can tell you that
no.
I mean, Jared Goff went 18
Chelsea-
and 18. That's pretty cool.
No, but I mean, but that's that. I mean, that's still got your QBR still factors into that. It factors
Yeah.
into percentage and everything
I mean, up
else.
to that point, he had 2 touchdowns. I can't put him in my top 5. I mean, 4
Do you think
games in,
people
2
from
touchdowns.
Salina would pay for
I'm not
seeing
picking
that they
a
lost?
QB with 2 touchdowns in
He had
4
3
games.
touchdowns.
3, yeah.
3 touchdowns. Yes.
I'm not
3
picking a
touchdowns.
QB. Top 5, 3 touchdowns. Just me.
Okay. But you
And,
didn't.
and rush for 4.
You didn't. You didn't have Daniels in there at all. You said Mayfield, Darnold, Stroud, Burrow, and Purdy.
So they like to give it to the running backs.
Did no one have Darnold besides me?
No, he did.
Okay. I was like, he's pretty good.
I run a podcast here. I kind of know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you didn't have Burrow.
At 6.
Chelsea football.
And they didn't have current Burrow at that one rating. They didn't have him in.
Chelsea's 2-3 right now.
I think so.
We lost horribly to Adair Friday. Very bad.
Is that
Worst loss. Well, Wilson was last.
Well, they're ranked top 10.
They're number 2.
Number 3.
They're number 2. But it was 56-8. But Huskers getting shit on lately. Are they really?
I don't know. I don't keep up with Huskers.
We really need an in-state.
I'm your pot Husky insider.
So, do some little math, and you can give 1, 2, 3, and 4 to all these different statistics, and then add them up to points. And I won. Sorry, it's quarterbacks right now. I did not put Burrow in some of those because the losing record, but he does have the statistics. Why is the defense so bad for them? I don't know because. Is Eli Apple still there? Is that what they're missing?
I don't know where Eli Apple is. I thought he was in Miami last time.
That's what they're missing. Some Eli Apple action. That's when their defense was good.
Eli Apple was there. Remember he went to the Super Bowl.
Eli Apple took him to a Super Bowl.
Could we also say, though, that
his mama said everybody thought talking shit on him.
Kenny is right about this bet once again that Joe Burrow will never take the Cincinnati Bengals to a Super Bowl.
Keep bringing it up.
And I don't think they're going to take him this year, right?
No.
Okay, so anyway.
What'd you have him at?
Just making sure. 10 wins. They were
10 to 13 wins.
At 11 wins. They were over. They were 10.5 for the bet. I had them.
Oh yeah,
we all took
them over.
We
all took all the teams.
Yeah, but you know what's funny though is what we really missed, and we should have thought about this. And I thought about it as we've seen Joe Mixon, what he done at Tech. That's what they're missing.
It's been a game changer for them. Yeah.
Oh, the run game.
Yeah, Zach Moss. You kidding me?
Well, the Brown kid is just starting to pick up pace. Every game he's looking better.
Is
so
he?
We'll see what
Who
happens.
is it? What's his name?
It's just Chase Brown, I believe is his name.
Where'd he come from?
Don't know. He's rookie, I believe.
Oh, really?
Chase Brown?
Yeah.
He's not the
Or
Oregon
second year,
guy,
some
is
shit
he?
like that.
Where is
He's
he?
young at the Bengals.
Chase Brown. Here we go.
Like, what'd he do today?
He's 24. So let's see here.
I know Gajewski, their tight end, did really well. Chase Brown, 12.46.
Yeah. 15
Longest
of 80
was 16.
15 of 80 the last game, though, when they beat Carolina, but that's Carolina. 7 of 62 against the Washington Commanders, who they lost to. Where's he from? Why am I not picking this up? Let's see.
He's from Illinois.
Yeah, Zach Moss
okay.
is slowly losing reps.
Zach Moss ain't any good.
Yeah.
All right, are we done?
If you want to be. Oh, no, I'm not done, actually.
Oh, I thought we were done.
Let's pull up the baseball score before we deal.
I don't know where that is.
Also, the Cleveland Indians. The AL Central done it.
The Cleveland Indians don't exist anymore.
No, it's the AL Central versus the Yankees.
It's pretty much.
In the AL, looks like Padres right now.
I'm taking a 2-game.
4-1. No, it'll be tied up. The Dodgers already won. Good for the Padres.
Oh, okay, that's what it is.
Get the Dodgers out. Come on, Royals. You've got to beat the Yankees. You're down 1. Indians won 7-0 opening game. And the Phillies won tonight. Thank goodness, because no one wants Francisco Lindor as an Indians fan to win anything at the Mets because you took the money, bitch.
Lindor or Bryce Harper win? That's how I feel.
I never had a problem with Bryce Harper. And they won it, what, 2 years ago?
And by the way, the Rhine Fire won the European League of Football over the Vienna Vikings.
They should be called the Vienna Sausages. But that wouldn't have been so great to talk about that if they were the Vienna Sausages. Does no one get that? I mean, wouldn't it?
Just stop. You're not hilarious. Your comedy is trash.
Yeah, no, I mean, Little Sausages is the mascot. He's got the eyeballs. And
stick to Jade McDaniel.
Yeah, stick to your joke. Stick to your crap.
All right, love y'all. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next Thursday, or this Thursday, actually.
Yeah, this Thursday.
Be a little later. It'll be in the evening, but we've got a lot to talk about. We're gonna give our predictions for Oklahoma State's obviously off. We're gonna give our predictions for Red Rival,
Red River Shootout,
whatever it's called.
It's a shootout.
And we've also, it's the biggest week in college football so far this year.
It is.
A lot of big games. And actually, hold on. What's funny? We bring that up as we close. This weekend, we all both said this is the shittiest week of college football, and it turned out to be one of the best.
That actually turned out to be fucking
upsets
amazing.
galore. So,
we thought it was just going to be cakewalks.
Yeah, and also
it is always shootout. But we thought it was going to be cakewalk. We thought it was cakewalk weekend.
We'll have a little clearer picture.
Vandy.
We'll have a little clearer picture on baseball by the time we get Thursday, because we're gonna have a lot of games played. Indians should be in the AL championship.
They'll be up. They'll be up.
Anyway, we'll see you later. Thanks for joining us.
All right, bye. Bye. Say goodbye.
Goodbye.